feature presentation.
Yes, sir. We want to say a very special welcome to the EBUZZ. I'm DJ Bones. I'm trying to see if I can get to Kishima Francis, who's doing this virtually. I'm DJ Bones. Okay, while we try to get Kishima online, as a matter of fact, we want to say a very special welcome to all our listeners right now who are just logging in to the EBUZZ. We're trying to do a little technological thing tonight, but of course, we seem to be having a little bit of challenges here, but we're going to go through just the same. And of course, we do have a couple of great things coming at you tonight. Right now, we're going to be actually talking a little bit about some of the hot topics that are coming through. One of the big topics right now that is happening is the whole scenario with Beanie Man and Crystal Tomlinson. Can you imagine, eh? 5 years. I think they had plans to be married. And now we understand that they're broken up. Well, let me see if I can get Kishima on the line one more time. Can you hear me, Kishima?
Finally, I see you guys have gotten the connection on your end. Yes, I'm here.
Good.
Welcome. It's good to be back on the EBUZZ. Happy New Year, Bones. Haven't spoken to you since last year via this platform, of course.
Or any platform. From last year, we just because pretty much you were on a break, and now we are, we're back connected virtually. So let us see how well the technology treats us. I was just getting into the whole area of the hot topics, and one of the hottest topics was pretty much with Beanie Man and Crystal Tomlinson. They've been in terms of a power couple.
Split, yeah.
And now we're understanding after 5 years that they have split, saying that there's no disrespect or any bad vibes. They just apparently grew apart.
But is that the hottest topic, though? Because come to think of it, with Kamala Harris, her historic moments, like, she was sworn in as the United States' first black, first woman, Jamaican, Asian American vice president. So big up to her for that.
Right, that is actually the hottest.
The hottest, don't it?
It is the hottest topic. I was very happy. I was able to watch the inauguration, not live, not there, but via social media or platforms, and it was really just a stark contrast to what has been there before in terms of the rhetoric, the tone. It was just so. It's just going to be so weird. This is actually going to be a boring presidency. It's going to be normal. It's going to be respectful. It's going to be calm. It's going to be collective. It's going to be, let's just say, presidential.
Nothing, right. Because we've seen, we've gotten like a lot of colors. It was a rainbow. What happened every day? It was something different, something bright, something crazy. You couldn't keep up.
You couldn't really keep up at all. And to be honest with you, one of the things that I think that I'm liking what is happening is the work ethic. This president, Joe Biden, has gotten to work right away. He left the inauguration and went straight to work, signing executive orders and making sure the balls of production have now been, they started to turn. And we really hope that this momentum can keep up and we can make sure that all the things that he promised on the campaign trail can be fulfilled. But we're looking forward to new things, new horizons, especially with COVID. Oh, my goodness.
Absolutely.
Vaccines.
And now back to the second hottest story now.
Beanie
and Crystal Tomlinson. What do you make of that separation, though, Bones?
And this is no indictment on Beanie or any of them. I just think they were they're a little bit they were unequally yoked a little bit. This is just me. I mean, there is a flair of Beanie Man. He's very, he captures a room. He's very,
outgoing.
Outgoing and all
but
that.
I find her to be outgoing as well.
Very intellectual.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very intellectual. I just think for some reason they said they've grown apart, but I do believe that there was a difference with them in terms of how probably they, communicated, probably. So I don't know, but he did say they grew apart. But they're very different people.
True, and people growing apart is not uncommon because you will have relationships, and sometimes you have to reignite that fire. You have to keep doing things together. The more you do things together, the more you express yourself and just love each other. You can go to the next level, but then it depends also on likes and dislikes and interests.
I tell you what it is. You'll always hear somebody says, how do you know that you and somebody are going to be compatible? One of the things is that everybody has faults. And the faults is not about the faults that the persons have. It's about, can you tolerate the faults? Because a lot of times people say, I'm Stacey, but if you can't tolerate it, it's not going to work. I'm not saying that's what it is. I just feel that sometimes people grow apart, and sometimes some people grow out each other. They've outgrown each other.
People grow out of love also.
Definitely.
Over time. So let us watch the situation and see what happens. Both of them so far are, trying not to give the public too much, and they're saying too little while still saying a lot. Beenie Man saying less is more, and Crystal, she's dropping her poetic lines via social media platform. This chapter has been closed, and it's closed with love and that sort of thing.
Closed by love and with love and
yes,
lyrics shuffling this, But it is something that happens. It's just that when you're in the public eye, these things are magnified. It's magnified 2-3 times fold. So. We wish, you never know, because, you hear this now and you hear them back together again. You just never know.
You never know, and that's just the situation with love.
That's love. Love is a strange thing. It's a very diverse emotion, and things happen. So let us see.
Also, big up to Shaggy. Did you see the Super Bowl cheetah ad with Shaggy?
Why, easy, I tell you that. Big up yourself, Mr. Burrell. He's always doing great things. And, of course, he's truly an international star. Yeah,
he is.
Yeah, keep doing the thing, Orville. Always doing it. And, boy, I tell you, it is just amazing what is happening. I'm looking for... I had to get back to this inauguration because I'm just hoping for big things for entertainers and work permits, the immigration... an executive order has been put in place to do a comprehensive immigration. Let us hope that these things are going to be helpful for the music industry. I know it's going to be helpful for the people who are undocumented in America. And they're going to have an 8-year path to citizenship. They're going to also have people who are undocumented will be able to get a green card very quickly. So let us hope all these things, we don't mean that they must open the floodgates, but these things needed to happen. They needed to happen.
Well, while we're talking about the hot topics here, there's a lot that happens on social media. So I think now is probably the opportune time, Bones, to bring in Tristan Wilson and Shanice Williams to get a little of what's happening as it relates to our social media highs and lows.
Here we go.
It's now time for social media highs and lows.
Girl, you know so what going on social media?
Yeah, girl, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
It's your social media highs and lows.
Like I every other day, them find something new for try. Them no mention my name, them no feeling not like. This and every Wednesday we've got the online buzz.
I'm Tris.
And I'm Shanice.
Girl, a bag of things happened since week. I mean, where do I even begin? Alright, I know where to start. Let's get into it. Now, Beenie Man and Crystal Tomlinson. On Monday, the couple announced their split via social media. So, Beenie Man said it was 4 years unfolding. Crystal said it was 5 years unfolding. But we know how men are with dates. But it could also be an error. So, Crystal mentioned that this chapter is closed. Beenie Man posted a video captioned, "Moving Forward," where he said he's free, single, and disengaged. So, Tris, if you wanna, shoot your shot, girl, go for it. What? Trouble it, So, is there any story of Beenie Man without the angel being involved in some way?
Yes, I am.
After the couple confirmed their split, the angel posted a video mentioning her struggles as a single parent. Now, social media users were saying she was just trying to get involved in the saga. Just this morning, and I mean this morning, she returned to the gram to clear the air as it relates to her single mother state. In an expletive-laced video, the angel warned persons to keep her name out of their mouth and stop twisting things as she's speaking her truth.
Nah lie, good stock,
Tell you. Then there's a Jada Kingdom Spice Shenseea saga. Let me tell you about it. Jada posted a video bigging up her mentor, Spice, and ended the caption with, "Enough artists no want big up who come before them and give credit to who them learn from. Me, nah me." Spice claimed this was the first time she was being tagged in a post by another female in the business. Now people were saying she's throwing shade on Shenseea. Social media users were quick to defend Shenseea and pulled up some old tweets and posts where Shenseea was praising Spice. Shenseea responded by making several posts in her Instagram story. In one of the posts, she said, "Bad man can't hide with makeup." Spice wrote in part, "Y'all twist words to reflect what you want." Fans also speculated that the beef had caused Spice and Shenseea to unfollow each other on social media.
Even Cranium dropped in his 2 cents as he took to Twitter and said, 90% of beef in this industry is created by fans, but most artists make them ego dash gas on it.
Oh boy, a bag of things. But what's going on for the highest for this week?
Session, nah lie. This week, buzzy bad. Beer things go on, but as you already know, here are the social media highs for this week. Dancehall heavyweight Beanie Man performed for former NBA star Dwayne Wade's 39th birthday celebration with his actress wife, Gabrielle Union. The king of the dancehall mashed up the place with his 1997 smash hit, Who Am I? Beanie shared a video of the private performance over the weekend via Instagram, saying, "Earth Day blessings to my brother at D-Wade. More life and blessing, respect and love to Gabrielle Union. Tonight was one for the books." D-Wade responded saying, "Legend, I was speechless, brother. Thanks for the love."
So this just goes to show, good music really lives forever.
So today is the inauguration of the 46th President of the United States. As you already know, if I egg Jamaicans have to be in the red, don't it? Social media is buzzing right through with the fact that, of course, reggae music is on the Biden-Harris official inaugural playlist. The playlist will feature Bob Marley and the Wailers' 1980 mega hit Could You Be Loved and Eternal Light by Free National featuring Chronix. The 46-song set is available on all major platforms, while a specially sequenced mixed version is available on SoundCloud. Fashion designer and CEO of Ramesh Entertainment, Ramesh Major, has launched a new clothing line, Major by Ramesh. Dancehall artists Shenseea, Tyrus Riley, and Ding Dong showcase pieces from the fashion line on a newly created Instagram page promoting the brand.
Yeah, I saw some of the pics. Ramesh really go on good. You see them?
Yeah, friend, them nice bad. Mr. the green sweater with the pink lips. It have a buzz. Dancehall artist Popcorn is entering the cannabis business with the launch of a new tea. The Unruly boss made the announcement on Instagram, adding that the immune-boosting tea line called Unruly will be available soon. So that's a very good look for Team Unruly. I'm definitely looking forward for more info on that.
So from Beanie's grand return to the streets, the angel warning people to keep our name out of their mouth, Spice and Shenseea saga, Beanie performing for D-Wade's birthday, Bob Marley and Chronix featured on the inauguration playlist, Ramesh's new clothing line, and Popcorn's cannabis tea. Who do you think took social media this week? Check it before you click it, because once you hit send, you may be a social media high or low.
And that's your social media highs and lows. Catch us next Wednesday for What's Buzzing.
I'm Shanice.
And I'm Tris. See you next week. Bye.
All right, thank you there, Tris and Shanice. Bye.
Can I tell you? As a matter of fact, we're talking about, social media highs and lows. We just finished that. But we're going to be talking about entertainers and legal woes. How is this affecting the entertainment industry or their musical careers? So what I wanted to do before we get or delve into this topic, we're going to take a commercial break, and then we'll be right back. Me like you, yeah, Kishima, look rich. Beg your catch.
Well, and stop it and go to the break.
We'll soon forward.
Tile Arcade, see you drive Lucy. We stock toilet, basins, granite countertops, porcelain, tin set, grout, doors, faucets, shower enclosures, glass, blocks, and so much more. Call us 810-9069, WhatsApp 807-8840. The time by Tile Arcade is...
It's 8:47.
Kaboom! Kaboom! Hurry! Them little fool there try copy them for stop it!
Well, if you're just joining us, it's the EBUZZ. We're here. We're coming to you from Irie FM in Ocherius. And, of course, Kishima's coming to you online.
Yes, remote.
I don't want to say where you're coming from.
Who knows? I could be next door to you. You never can tell.
You could have outside. Say if someone like me, I hear your voice, I echo outside.
I could be outside. I could be in the lobby.
But if you do that, you really would have waste a whole heap of phone call. But that's it is. We kind of want to be talking about entertainers and legal woes and how is this affecting the entertainment industry and, of course, their musical career. And just to kind of run down a couple of the people who have been having some legal woes The latest to date is pretty much your man Tommy Lee. Tommy Lee Sparta got arrested and charged with possession of an illegal firearm.
And Laden, he pled guilty to illegal possession of firearm and ammunition charges. I think he received 18 months for those charges.
Oh, okay, because I'm here seeing that he was supposed to serve only 4 years. This is really 4, as he received 18 months. Okay, that doesn't seem to be right. But of course, Elephant Man was also charged to be forced into COVID-19 quarantine facility because I think this was when he was coming from Europe and didn't say the right thing and then find out that he was not so truthful.
I remember Dexter Daps, he actually got into some hot water where his situation went all over social media as well, where they said that he was charged with assault occasioning grievous bodily harm and resisting arrest and using indecent language.
The crooner George Nooks was also arrested for cocaine and was scheduled to appear in court January 13. However, his bail was extended to March 4.
And we know the situation with Vibes Cartel and Sean Storm as is.
I remember Zebra. Yeah, Zebra was sentenced to 30 years at hard labor in the St. Catherine Circuit Court in 2010. He's been in jail for a minute.
So in a nutshell, we have seen where members of the entertainment industry repeatedly, they get into hot water with the law, but does it affect their musical career? Does it affect their brand?
Yeah, and I mean, and when we talk about affecting the brand, it could affect it two ways. It can affect it positively or negatively. We're still trying to get to our resource guest, who will be Ernie Smith, attorney at law. We're not getting him. So Ernie, if you're listening, could you please answer your phone?
And we've also seen situations, Bones, where you will hear that a warrant is issued for an entertainer's arrest as it relates to a shooting, for example. And after that same entertainer has gone in for questioning, then you realize that, okay, that was it. He went in for questioning and nothing, but then his name has already been dragged in the media and across social media platforms, especially now in the digital age. Does that affect him negatively in terms of promoters who want to book him for an event prior COVID? What sort of impact? Does it also put the entertainer in a position where he can sue the state for dragging his name in that kind of way?
Can I tell you the truth? You mentioned the right thing about suing the state. Now, you and I are not lawyers, so I think we should drag a lawyer in here. And we want to welcome.
We have him?
We want to welcome attorney at law Ernie Smith.
Mr. Smith, good
welcome,
night.
sir.
And how are you both?
We're good,
We are good.
I was hoping you were not at a night court session, but
well, let's put it this way: because of COVID, the night court sittings have been cancelled, postponed, so to speak.
Yes. All right, but Ernie, we're very glad that you could make time out of your busy schedule to talk to us. We were just mentioning a couple of the entertainers in the business of music and entertainment that have been having a lot of legal woes. And I know you've represented a few of them. Tommy Lee in particular, we know that you have represented from time to time. When you look at what is happening with the career and they get into these legal binds, as you would say, how do you think, or in your perspective as the attorney, it affects their career? How do you see it affecting their career?
Well, it's a setback to start with.
Yes.
And it also affects their travel itinerary in terms of making foreign appearances.
Yes.
And, but knowing how the music industry operates,
yes,
it is my opinion that for some of them, it operates to their benefit. One gets the distinct impression, for example, that a certain person who is now incarcerated is probably making more money than when he was a free man, so to speak.
But how would they be making more money when they're behind bars?
Well, let's put it this way.
Yes.
It's an opinion that I have.
Okay.
It is not something that I'd like to go into.
All right, I understand
Okay.
that. Totally understand that.
And Mr. Smith, before you came on, I was saying to Bones, like oftentimes we hear of situations, right, where an entertainer may be listed as a person of interest, and as it relates to a shooting incident or some sort of crime. Now, when that same entertainer would go into the police and have it, after their investigations, then you realize that okay, it's no longer a bother, or they're no longer wanted. Can that entertainer take legal action per se against the system?
Well, if you are taken into custody without lawful justification,
Yes.
and you remain in custody for, say, a protracted period, say, over 3 days, because the law does allow the police to carry out investigations after a person has been arrested on reasonable suspicion for 72 hours before taking any action. Then you can bring an action for false imprisonment and end up with a tidy sum under your belt, so to speak.
Oh, that's interesting. Another question I had for you, Ernie, is this. Now, you were talking about some of the setbacks that they would have with the legal woes because it would probably affect their travel or their travel itinerary or to make appearances overseas. There's also another situation where I don't know if it becomes a sort of a prerequisite for some artists, or they believe so, that if they're behind bars, there is something alluring about them, something that makes them attractive. A lot of them who have been behind bars have actually made some of the biggest songs, some of the biggest hits, and some of them attribute that for being in jail or being behind bars. Have you had any experience with that?
Let's put it this way. Not that you want to categorize the majority of the followers of music.
Yes.
Hip-hop and you name it. But the fact of the matter is that young people tend to gravitate to that, a culture that does not necessarily fit in with church music.
Yes, I like that.
You know? And because of that, you will find that somebody who has been in jail, like Bob Marley,
yes,
Toots Maytals, you know, a lot of these persons, when they come out, they make songs that grab the entertainment world, so to speak. And it acts as a propeller for them into higher heights, as they would say. So it's a culture, you see, that you have to understand how a particular generation views certain things.
Oh, yes. Definitely.
You know?
Yes, that's true. I mean, go ahead. Right,
Mr. Smith, your professional opinion for entertainers who may think that, you know, these legal woes, they give you this edge or this type of grit. What advice would you give to members of the entertainment industry as it relates to getting into hot water with the law?
Walk hand in hand with the law. Do not create a culture of badness around you and your music. Because at the end of the day, it is not going to benefit you. You want something that is going to last. You don't want a song that is going to be here for 6 months and then goes into the rubbish heap.
Yes.
You want to be able to have a song that you love and you sing with all your heart being played 50 years after you're dead.
Right.
And most of these persons who end up this way, their songs don't live for any time. Are you with me?
Yes, totally.
So I say too, because I have represented quite a few entertainers.
Yes.
Quite a few, you know?
You seem to be the entertainment guru. They seem to love your services. Yeah, the go-to attorney.
No, it's not just that, you know.
Yes.
As one person has remarked the other day, I'm really Ernie Smith, BB.
BB?
Born Brilliant.
Sure. can't manage.
I love it.
I love it. Born brilliant. That's a good one. That's really good, Ernie.
The truth is that all my clients, I give them the best of my ability.
Yes. And we know you're good at what you do. In terms of, I wanted to find out another aspect of it. I mean, I know that you probably defend them criminally in terms of they have some sort of a case in court, you know, in terms of some offense or the other. I was thinking, I don't know, it's not your particular area of expertise, but in terms of travel and immigration or work permits and stuff, it sometimes requires an attorney to get those things in hand.
Yes, quite so, because there might be a temporary ban on somebody's travel, or not someone's travel, I mean an entertainer's travel.
Tell us a little bit about the wars.
You do have to speak to some consular officer. You do have to make links and try to sort it out and to show that this particular person is not a threat to national security of the country that they're going to.
Right.
There's a matter that I'm dealing with in a certain country where a person he went there to perform and was taken into custody. And we are now negotiating a settlement which hopefully will be substantial enough to make him and his family, and of course me at the lower end, equally happy.
We love that. You know, I must tell you, Ernie, I'm thankful that you had time to talk with us tonight, because being an attorney that has represented several artists, you kind of have to know the inner workings of how these kind of situations go depending on the offense that they have been charged for.
Quite so.
Mr. Smith, I know to each his own, but have you ever had a situation where, you know, entertainers that you're representing, they feel like, oh, it's not happening fast enough, or they feel like they want to replace it? Because, you know, old people always say, when trouble take your picnic shot fit you. You know, them running up and down, them want things to happen almost immediately. How do you handle that and deal with it, considering you do this every day?
If I think that the matter is not being dealt with fast enough.
Yes.
Well, let's put it this way. It is not the speed at which something is dealt with that should matter, but the result.
I would have said that the same. And we're getting the wrap-up signal from our producer. So, Ernie, I want to thank you so much for making time to talk to us tonight. And, of course, let me correctly call you Ernie Smith, attorney at law. BB. Born brilliant and resilient. Thank you so much.
Okay, don't mention it.
Yeah, man, respect. Ernie Smith, attorney at law. He has represented several entertainers, especially in their legal woes, which was the topic we just had.
I know, and you know, do you still think entertainers are doing it for street cred?
I think some are. Some are. I do think so. To me, it's a very dangerous way to get some street cred, but
it is. I mean, confining yourself, restricting yourself from having that freedom.
There's a particular entertainer recently that I saw that he got arrested right in front of me. And I said to myself, why? I don't, but I know he's going to get some attention from that. But I'm saying to myself, it was just not necessary for him to get into that spot. All he had to do was just keep his cool.
And that's not the right attention.
Not wrong attention. But hey, they feel that it's going to make them more popular. The news is going to pick it up. They're going to get some attention. Not like he wasn't getting any attention already, but I guess he needed more. So he was rebellious and rough, and they took him into custody.
And you saw all of that
right in front of me. Yes, Master. So we're getting ready.
I think, do we go to a break and then have at the movies, or how are you feeling?
Here's what we're going to do. We are going to go to At the Movies.
All right. So big up to Maisha Browdy. So she has At the Movies. Maisha, what's happening?
Let's hear the movies.
Lights, camera, action. Hey, movie lovers. Welcome to At the Movies. I'm Maisha Browdy. you love listening to the radio. I also know that you enjoy screen time, whether it's watching your favorite Netflix series or catching up on one of your favorite local films or plays. So stay tuned for the latest movie news. Studies have shown that people who enjoy watching horror movies are more likely to handle the COVID-19 pandemic better. Yes, you heard right. According to researchers who published their findings in the journal Personality and Individual Differences, fans of horror films have been exhibiting less psychological distress during the pandemic. From a poll of some 300 respondents, those who are fans of prepper films reported being more prepared for the pandemic. According to Colton Shrivner, a University of Chicago PhD candidate who led the study, zombie outbreaks almost by definition are pandemics, and the cause is almost always some sort of infection. Characters in zombie films learn how to avoid getting infected and often try to find a cure for the infection. In addition, they learn what the world looks like when society begins to break down or no longer functions as normal. Although exaggerated in the films, this resembles a real-world pandemic in some ways. He said zombie film fans reported feeling like they knew what to buy for the pandemic and that the consequences of the pandemic did not take them by surprise. So it seems as if watching those zombie and ghost movies are finally paying off. Well, I'm not a horror fan, but I guess if there is ever an alien invasion, I will survive just fine. But let's hope it won't get there, right? Good. Well, enough talks of zombies, ghosts, and aliens. Here are our top 5 movie picks for this week. At number 5, we have Wonder Woman 1984. At number 4 this week is The Secret Society of Second-Born Royals. The Netflix movie Outside the Wire takes the number 3 spot. And at number 2 we have the Netflix series Lupin. And in the number 1 spot for a second consecutive week is the Netflix series Bridgerton. If you love great movies and series, go ahead and add these to your watch list. But if you're venturing out to cinemas to watch some of these and more, don't forget that safety is important. So here are some safety tips. Always wear a mask, which must only be removed when eating. And maintain physical distance now. That's a wrap. Join us next week for more exciting movie news. For At the Movies, I'm Maisha Brody.
All right. Thank you, Maisha Brody with At the Movies.
And I tell you something, it is, I haven't been able to watch a movie this long time, although there's a lot of time for a lot of people, but there is definitely a movie I'm looking forward to because the first one is coming to America. I'm dying to see that movie.
You're looking forward to that? Okay.
Yeah. You know, I like Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy's talented beyond belief.
So why you haven't been able to watch any movies?
I'm busy, you know.
Working hard?
Working hard. Projects, lots of projects going on. So I don't have time to in front of the TV sometimes, but not a lot of time.
And you really have to monitor your intake with movies, television, news, just whatever it is. You know, create a balance. Even with work, like you don't want to be working too hard. You want to create a balance.
I tell you this, it's just like a diet. You can have too much of a diet of certain type of movies, listening too much type of news. It's a diet also. As you say, you definitely need to have a balance when you're watching these
Balance
things.
is important.
And you get out of it. And of course, you know, we want to get into another section, which is the breakout artists. We're going to have our breakout artists. And of course, Shaneil Muir. She has been ripping the airwaves, doing so well.
She has been really consistent. She's been just, you know, grinding hard, really performing, doing her thing. And I'm really happy that we have her on. Not quite a music because, you know.
She break out.
She break out,
man. So, Shaneil Muir, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me, and I really appreciate it. It feels like an honor, you know.
No, man, it's an honor. It's really an honor to have you here.
I know.
Thank you.
I want you to share with us a little about your musical journey. How did you get started in the music? We know that you were a part of the Magnum Kings and Queens talent show. What was that like?
I have to say my biggest exposure to the music has been through Magnum Kings and Queens season 9. That experience was very, very. I learned a lot from the live performances to writing songs, to working with other talents and identifying whatever the need be to get through the competition. So it was a very, very good time, a very good year, even though I did not, come up in being the queen at the moment. It was very informative, and I appreciate each and every talent and every crew member and everyone that was a part of it, and also the judges for the critiques and everything, because it really does have an impact on what I'm doing today.
But before Magnum, Shaneil, do you remember what propelled you to even enter the competition? Like how you knew you wanted to do music? Like people always say, boy, you have a wicked voice, you should sing. How did that aspect started?
Growing up, I usually liked the fact that I would be singing like different songs, mostly R&B and stuff like that in church or at weddings or funerals and stuff like that. But I wanted to create my own sound, my own music with my own lyrics. So that's where the passion for writing came into play, which, create the whole artist thing. So I started writing little poems and, some little vibe from school. Like when you're in school and you get projects to do and you be creative with it. So I would try to use my creativity in terms of music to do my schoolwork or projects that we get. So my writing started from there, writing about specific things required in the class and stuff like that. So writing started there, and then, after, watching even other people enter into the competition and, to see what's required to be in that competition and to see how you can maneuver your way to the top. It was interesting for me. It was very interesting. And I wanted to know, like, how I felt like everybody, and then I had people that, supported me that been like, for example, my family members, they're like, you're bad, you can enter the competition and see where it takes you. You never know unless you try. So that the motivation and, the
got
passion
you going.
for it really got me going there.
How would you describe your musical style?
I think it's like a bugetto type of style. It's like a bougie, but it kind of,
I don't quite understand the one that budget. What? So,
yeah, but honestly, I think my style of music is really more realistic in a sense where I try to always write about something that someone has experienced, is experiencing, or may at some point in their life. So I try to keep it relatable to my audience in whatever way that I can.
And Shaneil, I'm happy that you said that, because it is now helping me to better understand my second question, because you're saying that one, you like writing and you tell a story. You're very real with the topics that you choose, because even something as Yamabella, that song in itself, you're sending a very strong message, a solid message. Talk to us about the creation process of Yamabella and how that whole thing come about.
Okay, so with Yamabella, it's so funny because it was produced by Top Brass Entertainment and Papidon Music. So it wasn't just Papidon solely. But when they had sent me that rhythm, and this is where I will have to interlude, like put this into play in what I'm saying. It's not always about the money, and this is so weird, but it's not about the money. If it was about the money, I don't think that I would create Yamabella. You understand? It was at a point where they reached out, because I was doing some music with Papidon, for example, 3D and Blessings and stuff, songs like those. Yes. And he sent me the rhythm, and he was like, you know what, the people, remember they sent me the rhythm after work, and I was like, yeah man, I will get to it. But I was doing everything else. Right. That was getting me paid, and putting that aside, waiting on, till I have the time and not really making time for it. So one evening when he called me, he's like, Shan, come on, we need to get that rhythm, we need to get that song out. Right. And I sat there one night in my room. I had a little desk in my room where, I put up a little studio thing and everything that I needed to work. And I sat there in my room one late night and I started to write the song. While writing the song, I was like, you know what? Because I was working at the time. I was working at Hilton's. I was, doing my little 9 to 5, my darling.
Yes.
And I was like, you know what? Why sing about something that I'm not doing when I am going through something that I know a lot of women are going through, and maybe not only women, but anybody.
Right.
So I was like, me still go out and me still look good, and nobody can tell me so I don't look good on my clothes because I'm me wear my clothes and my clothes wear me.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, girl.
Boy.
Yeah, girl.
Now, ask you a question.
My money, bye.
Shaneil, what in terms of people hearing your music, loving it, I want to book you. Right now we have COVID-19 going on, so I want to book you for a virtual show, or I want to do some project with you or something. Do you have a management team? How can I get to Shaneil and tell us a little bit about your management team if you have one?
Oh, absolutely. I do have a management team. I am signed to the label Good Productions, which is operated by Zoom, and my co-manager is I am Sasha Bling, which is her Instagram, on Instagram.
Yes, Sasha, what? Sasha, yes.
Sasha Bling. So Sasha is my co-manager. Zoom is my manager for Good Production. So if anybody listening right now, if you need to reach out to me, please do so through my team, because we are a team and that's what we stand for. So to get to Shaneil Muir, you have to get to Good Production. So if you not get to Good Production, I don't know what other production I get to get to me. And you're not going to get to me if that's the case.
No bad
Shaneil,
production.
Same guy. Big tune, absolutely love it. When I hear this track though, it reminds me a lot of I think it's R. Kelly and Usher's Same Girl.
Yeah.
Talk to us about the inspiration behind that song, and then how the connect came with you and Danique.
So I have known Danique for 4 years. I knew Danique around the time that I was in Magnum Kings and Queens, because I also worked with Good Productions within that time frame as well. So I have known her for that time, but we haven't spoken for that 4 year period. Okay. Up until last year. So it was so funny because once we got the rhythm, and we're like, you know what, we need to have a bang on it. Since we know say a Google Production talents them come out right now and it's his rhythm, we need to make a mark, we need to leave an impact. So she was like, she liked the idea of the same guy thing, and if we could go a dialogue on the song, I think it would be really, really good, for women to, because I love to see the women in the business, doing just to create a whole lot of bangers, So she had the idea to do the same guy, and we just put the work together. We got in the studio and made it fun.
Well, I tell you, it
works.
It works well. No, we're in COVID. We're in COVID pandemic, and my goodness, we're dying for it to be over with. How have you been coping, and how has it affected you as a performer and artist? And how have you been managing with this whole pandemic coming down, putting the entertainment business pretty much on a standstill? Yes. How have you been doing?
Yes. Well, for me, I cannot complain because my breakthrough was through the pandemic.
Nice.
Because I think that because of the pandemic, it allowed people on social media to know, not only watch the trend of what's going on, but actually listen to actual talent and voices and lyrics. It gave them time. The pandemic put we in a pause, and it gave us that. I think it really gave people that time frame and that that moment to listen to what's going on in the world.
Right.
So I fell into that category, and I think that I cannot complain whatsoever when it comes to the pandemic, because it was my blessing in disguise.
And as of course, as I always say, I have a friend who always says, don't waste this pandemic. It is something that will have to make you diversify and think differently. And of course, a lot of people have actually grown through the pandemic. What are you working on now, currently? What is your latest project, if any, that you can tell us about?
Sure. Okay, sure. I do have a few singles, and trust me, they need to give me more year in a year, because more months in a year, because I can't understand. Me have more than 12 songs to drop, and that's 1 month. I can't, but I need more time.
Take time with them. Time with them.
Shaneil, you know what I want to ask you? I think even in 2020 we've seen like a rise up like of a lot of females. Looking at the industry now, what do you think about where the females are in the industry and how they are being represented? And what's your take on that, or your contribution in terms of where you want to be in the industry, not just as a female but as an artist?
Mm-hmm.
But me not tell no like it's this year, last year up till now, the female system in the music, they have made me so proud. I have to say that.
True.
I have to say that. The woman them have a buzz. Start the truth.
Yeah.
More than a buzz. Although this program is called The Buzz, but you don't have a buzz. And I really have a buzz. Remember me told you.
I have to say, I am very, very elated to be a part of this environment that I'm in right now in regards to dancehall, because there's so many strong female and talented females in this business. It's unbelievable. Even those that the world hasn't seen yet. You know, because there are some very talented women. But for those that, you know, everybody's familiar with, I love what I have been seeing so far, and I just wanted to continue to stay focused and just, you know, put in the work and make the woman them sing them look good and just keep the buzz going for the woman them, you know?
You know, I think what I like with you, Shaneil, is that you have a sound about you that you can be very proper when you need to be, and then you have this grit. That this little raunchy, rocko side when you need to be. So this side, I want you to give me that word that you used before that describes your style. What do you call it? Bougie?
Bougetta?
Bougetta. My goodness me.
In a nutshell.
Any tours, any shows coming up virtually? Anything you can tell us about in terms of performances?
I do have a live performance in Miami. They call it Rivera Beach, Florida. So it's not Miami, it's Rivera Beach.
Right.
I have that show coming up in February 27. I have a few shows scattered here and there, but nothing for Jamaica just yet confirmed.
Yeah, don't
nothing
confirmed. Yes.
So, you know, but anything, any events that I do have, they will be updated on my Instagram. You know, so everybody who's not following at the moment can follow me at Shaneil Muir on Instagram. It's a verified page, so you won't get lost, you won't get confused.
Right.
And you know, because trust me, you know, like you have some people out here that are really mimicking artists to gain from them, and you know,
that's true.
They're victims that end up, you know. So we definitely don't want it to be a victim this year.
You know what I want to ask is, you mentioned your upcoming events. In light of COVID-19 and everything, what are some of the things that you look for know when you are communicating with promoters or prepping to go off to do an event? What are some of the things that you look forward to ensure your safety?
Honestly, especially in this era of what's going on with that case, the distance. That social distancing, I take that really, really seriously. Because at the end of the day, we're working, but at the end of the day, our safety and our health comes first. So I like to do that, and you know, just to make sure, you know, you don't want a fan to feel a certain type of way, but at least I want them to understand that amongst the entertainment and the fun and the jovial night that we're going to have, we just need to respect each other's spaces, and you know, just adhere to the legislation that's been set by, you know, whichever county, whichever country, or wherever.
You know, I want you to give us a little projection on yourself. In 5 years' time, where do you see yourself in terms of the music, or where would you want to be, or would have achieved in 5 years?
In 5 years, I really want to see myself utilizing what I have learned and, you know, creating now from it. So instead of me, you know, having to yearn for more, in a sense, where more knowledge, more this, more that, I want to get to that advanced stage where now I am putting the knowledge out there, you know, teaching whoever may be coming up after me, you know, be a good representation of the business aspect. So I always like to say that there's always the good side where, you know, everybody listens to the music, but there's also a business side to the music as well, which a lot of people don't respect for some reason. But that's a different topic. But,
altogether. Yes.
Shaneil, as we're about to wrap, we couldn't have you on and not ask you this question. Shaneil Muir, are you related in any way to Bayomi Muir?
I'm not sure.
I obtain.
I can tell you that answer. No. I can tell you that answer. No.
The minute you came on the scene, that was one of the first things that came to my mind.
Maybe, because the last name is a very rare last name. You know what I mean? So
Muir, man. Muir, come on, man.
You know, come on, you know.
Give me know a couple Muir well.
You know too much.
Yeah, you know so.
Because it's not as common as Howard.
No, Howard is foul. Come on, foul. Straight. Everybody have Howard. First name, last name, same thing. Shaneil, we want to thank you so much for talking us tonight as our breakout artist. We know that you've been doing well. We want you to continue to do well. And I do believe that when this pandemic decides to take a nap and sleep permanently, we'll be seeing you on some of the biggest stages in the world doing your thing and showing your talent.
You have a real talent and keep it up.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. DJ Bone.
Yes, my darling.
RFM,
Big up yourself.
Over there.
Okay, Shaneil, you have an absolutely lovely night, darling.
Thank you. Have a wonderful evening.
Smashing. Take care. All right.
If you're just joining us, that's Shaneil Muir, or breakout artist, this Wednesday on the EBUZZ.
All right, so guess what? We are getting ready now. Okay. I'm trying to get a signal from you. Tell me what the signal is. I'm not seeing what you're saying to me. Okay.
Oh, she's giving you a secret signal.
Yes.
Right, but we know coming up, we have our Fashion Forward feature. We also have the Dancehall Top 10, Irie FM's Dancehall Top 10 coming up with DJ Brian, Courtney Mack, DJ Lollipop, and we have Fashion Forward with Shamara and DJ Lollipop.
I think we should take Fashion Forward.
Right, so just in case you want some fashion tips, we've got you covered.
Yeah, so here we go. Fashion Forward with Shamara Preston and DJ Lollipop.
Catch them on side.
It's Fashion Forward, a weekly look into what's popping,
what's hot and what's not,
hip and trendy. It's the space for all things fashion.
We've looked at dressing for work and closet must-haves, so this week we are addressing your undergarments.
Yeah, we could talk about the stay bad panty them now.
And all the stay bad panty. What about the stay good ones?
If them stay good, we don't need to talk about it. And ladies on a dash with the old brassiere them. When the brassiere them get old and they just dash them.
All right, we'll get there. Give it some time. No, we know more often than never, undergarments get overlooked, or in this case, underlooked. It is not seen as an important part of an outfit. However, contrary to popular beliefs, your underwear can make or break your outfit. You believe that?
Yeah, for real.
All right, let's get into it. Let me break it down for you. Torn or ripped underwear, the same one we call tear up, is not cute and should not be worn. We've seen pictures all over the internet of men and women in torn or ripped panties. We've even seen pictures of them on the line. So, to prevent the embarrassment and the bag of chatting, just throw them out.
Dash them away.
Same so.
Rid of them.
Same
get
so.
Get some new one or something panty cheap. On a market back, you can get $400 for $600.
Lollipop, yeah, grown there, you know the price.
Me hear the price them more.
Lollipop, if people don't want that, you know, they want them ends. Because here, you know, some man have the hands and they must say, boy, it's here, you know, but it's just too expensive for that show.
That show same way.
And go buy the cheap one.
Yeah, better you buy a nice cheap underpants and have one expensive one. We're done.
Me believe that. Me support that 110%. Yeah. And the same apply for the ladies. Just dash them with them not cute.
Oh, I look on some waist or some underpants. And
it don't look good.
Not at all.
I believe you. And we move from that to the color of your undergarment. Please coordinate the color underwear you are wearing with the color of your outfit. You cannot wear a red underwear under your white or yellow outfit. That's a definite no-no.
But speaking of color too, some women have some black underwear with bleach out. I don't know how that works.
Never dash that way too.
Regular, me see women with some bleach out underwear.
You know, say you're wicked.
For real.
And me see some man with some bad color underpants.
Well, that's true. Me see the woman them with some underwear, some of them bleach out. it no look good.
I true, it not stay good for
I don't
real.
know why them want upon it. What's the sentimental attachment?
They love it. You know, sometimes you have some, you maybe have one underpants like that. It just fit you good and it feel good.
Well,
and it make you feel sexy.
Fit me good. So I buy them in a bulk, so I don't have to hold on to one.
There you have it. Lollipop is speaking. But ladies, remember, you can't wear red under certain color, yellow under certain color. It no work. The best color to go with is black. Just do a black or a nude. Can't go wrong with black or a nude.
True.
And ladies, we do not, and let me repeat, not want to see your bra straps or panty strings. So please do not show us what we did not ask to see. Tank tops or altar backs are not to be worn with a bra. And if a bra is needed, Evolution has provided us with strapless invisible bras. Just get one. Wear a low-line underwear with your low-cut jeans. There is no reason we should be seeing your undies at the top of your jeans. Tacky much.
Well, I agree with you. The bra part, like sometimes female wear the outer back them and them the bra them are show and not look good. But the panty string now, I don't mind seeing that.
Me know you wouldn't mind seeing that. You like see that.
Yeah.
Me know. But it not look good. The truth is it not look good. You have to wear your pants.
Wrong with it. All if a woman even bend over a certain way and she take up something and you see her jean string, yes, she says she have on a jean string.
Lord help Lollipop.
Nothing
Lollipop,
is wrong with that.
it is not cute. It not cute. We're not supposed to see your underwear. That's why I name underwear, because it's under your clothes. So you know the invisible bras, you know them, the invisible bras, you know them? The little nude bra
them. The one on a strap?
Yeah, you know them.
Yeah, I know them.
And
I've taken off some of those.
Lollipop is on the floor. But before Lollipop takes over, men, I'm asking you, please pull up your pants. This new trend of no belt and dropping your pants at your thighs is just not hip. Pun intended. Wearing your pants at your waist is still a thing.
Me nah do a Babylon bar, me do them just in a straight jeans, me in a car. So me are the only man with pants for waist.
We know your boxers are white and clean most of the times, but we just do not want to see them. I don't want to see your underpants waist.
Style can spoil.
It not cute.
You get me? You have different strokes for different folks.
I mean, get that.
I mean, the younger generation now. I'm not saying I'm in totally agreement with a man with them pants, so we don't mess up. But you know, the little killy, them little thugs then.
Me see an artist the other day on social media, and him pants literally them knee. Me I wonder how him walk. It not cute.
Me know how you talk. Him overdo it. But
then you see, he has become a role model for other young men. It not cute.
No, as me said, some of them overdo it, but and every man I can wear them pants up of them waist up there, so.
But why not?
Especially for me, my belly long, you know, so. So me couldn't wear my pants up on my waist, because my waist they far.
But when you don't wear your pants on your waist, or you hold your belly, or you control your belly, your stomach, or you make sure
you wear
you
some
get
pants
big.
where you know I'm gonna chop off for you, but you just have to catch this, so.
Okay.
And then your underpants probably short, so some woman likes your underpants and she say I want an expensive underpants.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're teaching me something, but me still gonna say me no want to see it.
Yeah, some of them overdo it.
And we can agree on that.
I agree on that totally.
Alright, anything we leave off of the list, me know say yeah, Mr. Tiger Brief, what me leave off at the underwear list?
You never mentioned the big panty them. Some woman wear some big panty.
Yeah, me forget that.
I mean, I know a certain time of the month you might want to do that, but overall, someone just wear some big panty right through like them doing business.
Maybe them want to hold in them body.
No man, and if you gotta look for the man for the first time, you look a sexy.
Then what about if you gotta look for him the second time?
Anytime you gotta look for the man, just wear a sexy panty and none at all.
Okay, well, in Lollipop's words, just keep it sexy.
Yeah.
And clean and untorn.
She said she don't sleep down nowhere.
Remember to keep it locked to this space for more fashionable updates. For Fashion Forward, I'm Shamara alongside
DJ Lollipop, the party fanatic.
See you next week.
All right, thank you there, DJ Lollipop and Shamara.
We're up for a break. We're soon forward.
Yeah.
For phones, televisions, GPS tracking, chargers, pen controllers, software upgrade, and CCT security camera installation. Visit us in Montego Bay or call us at 630-3532 or 971-6227. Android market sales and services. Innovation comes from all directions.
The time is
9:33. As a matter of fact, we want to be linking up with a lady. I call her Straight Money, yo.
Macadocious.
Macadocious. I wonder what's been going on with that lovely young lady. She's been very busy recently, and I want to find out what's been happening with her because, you know, COVID has affected everybody. Yeah. She said, oh, no, behave yourself, Nicholas. If I tell you the joke in here, you know, Kishima, you would not believe what my brother Nicholas has said, but I can't say it. Him just say, I must stop looking so hard at the spotlight inside here. Let me see if you get that joke there.
Oh. Slightly delayed, but I got it.
You got it, right? All right, so that's sort of an inside one. But we're going to see if we can be making a connection with Macka Diamond to find out what's been happening with her and what her latest efforts are, because I think she was overseas for a minute.
And she's been doing a lot. I mean, from OnlyFans, new fashion line, her spiritual journey. It's just like a whole heap of things happening with Macka. So it's good to have her on to find out what's the latest.
You know, Macka is a dear friend of mine, and Macka would come and link me sometime, and she would say to me, boy, you know, let's go get something to eat. But me can't go nowhere when I appear grass, fruits, breeze. I think I breeze here, I drink now. Breeze, air.
No, but Bones, Macka Diamond, she does look good. Yes.
Took off a lot of weight, and it's a healthy weight loss. She really has been. And she said that she just wanted to purge and make sure that she's up and running. And it helps her performance. It helps her in the studio. So we want to get to all of that with her and more, with all the stuff that she's doing and so on. And, of course, there's also a particular thing with the vaccine a lot of people are talking about, because we understand that it's going to be mandatory, especially for a lot of people to travel. Some of these entertainers, we spoke to Octane about it last week, and he said, well, if it's mandatory, how are you going to go around it? Some people still say them, nah, take it, sir. So.
But and ultimately, once people come to the realization that, look, I want to travel, I need to earn, this is how I earn my money, you find that eventually or over time, you may have a lot of persons who will conform eventually.
Right. I am not hitching. If it's available, I'll just go.
You've been saying that
but it'll take too long.
From March last year.
Yeah, man, me want to take with myself, you know, man, little sporting, little, at least, you know, it still is contagious, from what I'm understanding, if you're vaccinated, meaning that you can still spread it. But I think what the vaccine prevents you from doing is getting sick. It doesn't make you don't really get sick. But the viral load is still in you, and you will probably be able to spread it to somebody else. You'll be doing it asymptomatically, but still. So that's one of the things.
So what do you think is wrong with what you just said?
I don't know, because I'm kind of tired still.
No, because you said what the information is. So we're going to go ahead, take this vaccine, and then you're still spreading it.
But I think what it is that you won't be sick. There won't be deaths. I think that is the main thing, because there's so much deaths. I'm not, as I said, we don't know the exact characteristics of the vaccine, and of course there's several of them out now. I do believe that Johnson & Johnson is about to get emergency approval to be used. But you know, if something has to be done, because the rate of death, the rate of infection is absolutely ridiculous. And with weather now, it's kind of cold. It is actually making sure it's a petri dish of infections, no? And as you see, I don't know where you are. I don't know what the cases are like where you are, but you know, it's bad. It's bad. Most all over the United States is pretty bad, and you know we need.
It is bad, and I think overall, because you do have some persons who are not taking the necessary precaution. Some people still don't believe, and especially because they may have a healthy immune system, and they're not too conscious or cautious in terms of spreading it to other persons. And then you have those who are asymptomatic, so they may be a carrier and not know, and because they feel well, they may think that so. It's a fluke.
The thing with it is a lot of them need to understand that you can be healthy as a horse, an athlete, and it knocks you down and it'll kill you. So this myth about, you have certain people, yes, people with underlying conditions, they are a little bit more, they're prone to be having more serious problems, but it doesn't exclude the healthy person. The healthy person will get knocked down just as easily as the person with, underlying conditions. So everybody has to be very careful about how to do things. And with these new variants that are happening, one from, I think there's one from Africa, there's one from London, and of course there's an American one I'm understanding now. It's not that it's more deadly, but it's just more contagious. So it's 50 to 70% more contagious than the original COVID itself. So people really need to take the precautions so that the transmissibility of it is limited, because catching it is what you don't want to do. So,
well, what we know for certain is that COVID has definitely changed the way we once lived.
Well, look how we're working right now.
I know. I mean, so there are lots of perks and there are lots of good that came from it in terms of people having a better understanding, like how you can maximize your time. Like you physically don't have to be in a space. You can still do the same thing.
Right.
I mean, before like a lot of things people would have said, no, that is not probable. No, that cannot work.
Yeah. Right. You're absolutely right. And of course, as I always say, something has to happen for you to know either adapt or you're going to fall. You either work with it or you're going to pop down. So, and most people have decided not to pop down. They have adapted to this thing. It is tiring. There is a lot of COVID fatigue out there. People want to get back to normality, but we just have to stay the course until we acquire herd immunity where the spread is stopped and people can kind of go back to normality. But it's going to take a minute, especially if they don't have the vaccines rolled out properly.
Yeah, and especially with what you have just explained, you're just going to reset, readjust, and reapply.
Definitely. And you have to do that if you're going to survive. It's about survival modes right now. So I don't know where Macka Diamond is, if she's still at the jewelers, because a diamond she named. But we are wait for Linker, find out what happened to Miss Charmaine Monroe, because, she has a lot to tell us, yes? But but we're getting ready.
And speaking of Macka, like she says she's on this spiritual journey, or, she's moving towards Christianity. And then, persons were a little taken aback by her saying that, considering just, weeks, I think months ago, she was on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Doing the most. So persons are wondering, Macka, is this true? What exactly is going on? Are you serious about this? So we really want to find out.
You know what I can do? Let's find out right now. Macka, what? Money, yo.
Money, good night, good night.
Macka, where have you been?
Macka, me know exactly. Let me tell you something.
We're chatting, Macka.
Macka, I know what you were doing, Macka. You were in your vehicle. She big you up.
Big up, Macka.
Macka, I know what you were doing. You were sitting in your car eating fruits and vegetables.
I was fast asleep.
Oh, you eat the vegetable them first.
I still celebrate my birthday, so I just, I sleep.
You celebrate birthday?
My weekend. Yeah, my birthday, Saturday gone was crazy, man. Everybody wants to keep. Over that.
Yeah, when the COVID hit, you keep on having. Happy belated birthday to you, Macka. No,
thank you.
Want to find out a couple of things from you with the entertainment industry that has taken a massive hit with COVID and so on. Shows that get cancelled. How have you been coping?
Well, the good thing is that people are home now.
Yeah.
So you find that my streaming went up high.
Right.
And that was fascinating for me, because what happened to my streaming went up high. A lot of producers reach out to me and they will offer me to,
to work.
X amount, and we do projects and stuff like that. So that was good for me. And not getting the shows, but with the recordings and a lot of dub plays. So sometimes the sound man them, So it's always good and bad, but we still want to show them, because it got the bigger bills them and the bigger this and But we take it as a star, because we're stars. One thing with we as star, we learn how to survive even when not going. We have to make it look at that. We have to make it look good. But the good thing about it, as I said, my streaming went up, so we have to try to work with all of them really set up them royalties and all these things. They went in trouble, but I already been doing all of them things, setting them things in place. So we look at royalty check, those are them little things, and as I said, I look at dub plate, because I trained myself to do dub plays, so I'm one of the top
dubstep artists at this moment where,
That's
you know,
true.
even right now I'm sitting at about 10 dubs. I'll just get a phone call. They don't really see it. So that's my survival at this moment.
And I tell you something.
Sorry, Bones, but speaking about survival, Macka, I know initially, like, you started your OnlyFans account as a way for additional income. How is that coming along?
Yes, that's true. That is coming on great, you know. And with my OnlyFans, you see, I don't even worry about it. It is just like a little pocket. You know, one of them little saving pan, you just put one side. So
right.
I just been looking in there, looking at it, oh, okay, to reach that, it's doing that. And I don't do nothing to it more than just leave it there, and you know. But for the OnlyFans, it has been something that I've watched, even with the foreign artists, and a lot of people will have to soon get with it. Whatever negative they're thinking about it wasn't built for that.
Right.
It was built for artists to have an OnlyFans thing, people who are willing to support them.
Right.
That was the research I've done about it. But I mean, since it has been reached out in that raunchy way and all of them stuff now, you know, that's the way, you know, because I tell you, when you read about it, it's not something it's supposed to be discussed publicly, but they tell you you have to find a way how to get those fans to come over there. And this is what a lot of people have been doing. Some people do it for real, like if they do this, there's certain little things that they're showing for real. But we as artists, we have to find a way how to get them over there. Because, you know, the fans them still they don't want like a free season and free season, or you don't want to spend on nothing. So, I mean, we're behind the scenes with this, you know, I mean, Macka Diamond getting married, and we don't have to see nothing. The picture them and my husband never exposed it on OnlyFans, come and pay to see it.
What?
These are the things. You know, like for example,
I understand what you're saying. Tell us a little bit. Now, Macka, you hear me I tease you a while ago about your vegetable and your fruits, and you're in the car, right?
Oh, yeah, I had them early this morning.
Me know. You're taking a spiritual journey. Tell us a little bit about this journey that you're taking and all the details. I mean, no says Jesus calling you, but tell him to hold on. Come here, your phone ring. Right?
No, but I said Jesus just call people saying that.
He will call you. You just have the spiritual journey, so he will call you.
Jesus just chose me, you know, to come on the music. So everybody have them talent. So whatever talent God has given you, He has blessed you, so you pray for it. So it's just all about 2020 has been such a rough year for everybody. So and me, you know, it's rough, but we still find a way of survive, as I say, and so we look at virgin them link where we, you know, we tear a little thing around this, and we, you know, we collect with little royalty, we do the two dub, but it's still a tear because we're not now gone. But in truth and in fact, it was a rough year. So I wanted to just say to God, please carry me over in 2021 safe. I want to show some love to God because I survived it. You get what I say? I want to embrace Him more because 2020, with the whole COVID and all these things, make you realize that life is short, whether we like it or not. And now it is time to get close to whatever. If you praise God, if you praise Selassie, if you praise just the atmosphere, if you hold your own realms, you have to go into that now to survive what is going on in life. So you have to draw your extra power close to you. And that is what I have chosen to do for 2021 because me lose track along the way because I used to do that and my career took off and He blessed me with my career and blessed me with each song. He blessed me that I can still be here and still in the new generation and Macka name still a call. So me say me have to give Him thanks when I'm a little fasting and things. I can't retreat because it get rougher with this whole internet excitement. I mean, for the past couple of weeks, internet not normal. Spirit of confusion.
But Macka, even though it has gotten...
But them things that bother me again, me overgrown them things that, and because I start to love myself, I'm not care what people always say about me again. It doesn't bother me. Me just know, say, I remember a couple of years ago, I met Pattis, that was Sizzler's manager, and I remember I came up at that Stonefest stage, mashing up the stage, and in the morning at the hotel, I saw a paper came out with somebody else saying that them take the show, and then nobody else never worked good, and this and something bad about me, and I sat there crying, and I remember Pattis said to me, stop it, may his soul rest his peace in his grave. He said, stop it, Macka Diamond. And the publicity is publicity. If somebody say bad about you, good about you, they're talking about you this morning, and you must be lucky because nobody
attention was paid to you.
Yes. And I never forget that. So when I was losing track of people who were teaching me certain things, to come back to my senses now and say, Father God, I have to lean with you. You have to carry me, strengthen me. I have to love myself. And then I realized that all people are doing right now is making me bigger and bigger and bigger. Because if this place was open up in a casino and boom, I would be booked right out.
I know this.
Amount of people call me about shows. It is crazy. It is unbelievable. I'm like, so people doing all these things to me, saying all these bad things about me, and the whole world wants to see
It's attention.
me. I had a birthday party. I had to turn back people because I know it was COVID.
Yes.
And we didn't want it that fast. I had to turn back, and people were screaming. People were holding my legs. There was this lady crying, "Oh my God, I love you, I love you." It was crazy.
That's
love
awesome.
that people showing me. So I realized that the negative is all about good for me. So
It's
me not
attention.
making
I want you
nothing
getting
bring me down.
attention. You're getting news. There's no bad press. I wanted to find out, with this closest to the spiritual journey that you're on, I understand you put out a new song now. For
Yeah, man. He set me free, bad man. He set me free.
Right.
God fully trapped them where them must said to me. We dash where them demon them in the oh, hallelujah. Get in the spirit and that's a vibe, man. I mean, you know me, the woman said.
I want us
It
to
is
play that
time.
song, I want to play that song to make the people in here. This is the one that is bringing you closer to the Lord. And you are doing...
The mix up one thing, the mix up one thing, but here what is so good about it. me so talented that not care what I go on the internet, I just turn it that music, and I make some money also, I turn it that cash in.
You're not easy,
You understand?
Well, here's what. Let's give our listeners a taste of this song. Introduce the song to your listeners, Macka.
Well, this song is one of the greatest song of 2021, one that you always full joy. If you're in church, if you're not in church, if you're at your home early in the morning, you can use this song to bless you for the day. It's called Set Me Free by Macka.
Here we go.
Macka Diamond, the only thing I do in dancehall that is wrong was to stop your career with Spice. Instruct me.
Lord, forgive them, for they know not what they have done. Lord Jesus, forgive them. I'm Macka.
Macka Diamond, the only thing
God pull they trap them where them are set for me. We dash where them demon them in the sea. He set me free, bad man. He set me free. God release me and set me free. Cause I put no Macka did the heathen them a free. God release me and set me free. Me call pan God when me go down pan me. God release me and set me free. How for them bury up on the guango tree. God release me and he set me free. From who I go, I will be a man and I sleep with monkey. He set me free, bad man. He set me free. Thank you, Lord. God pull they trap them where them are set to me. We dash where them demon them in the sea. He set me free, bad man. He set me free. Your sister them want see me feel. With friends side of me we do no hypocrite ill. I know me a take little bad for run place. Hold on the Eden them think them a go real. How that me hear a bend down over pain. Go over man and lift up monkey tail. Me look fresh and young bad man make them look stale. No free water we can make a ship still a sail. He set me free, bad man. He set me free. God pull they trap them where them are set to me. We dash where them demon them in the sea. He set me free, bad man. He set me free.
No, Macka.
Macka, you're not
is
easy,
accurate.
You're not easy at all.
Macka, why you start the song so?
Because you see, me no want hear say when me say certain things that happen on the internet, they hear say me I make up story. So how me started that's how it go. RT say it, me not say nothing. Me just go about what him say.
Right.
You understand? So people say should believe that, should believe that. When me I say Kashima Bone, if your car was broken into and somebody come to you and say to you, say, you know, say me say Angie or Junior, I don't want Junior from run away, I stick on your car and then they cut the window and everywhere. No, sir, go. So, he says so, he says so.
You know, Macka, I tell you something.
Wait, what I want to ask Macka, right? She's talking about the pandemic and, talking about it's difficult, she's not touring and all of that. But Macka is doing the most. I mean, talk to us about you've entered into the fashion game. So you have Simi Macadocious. Tell us about this collection.
Yeah, it's I got a phone call that for years I've been linking up, but we got the phone call finally to confirm that we're ready now with the designs and the Macadocious looking one. So I had to go to fly to Vegas and meet up with the people I'm signing off and stuff. Like, it was great because the fashion, I love fashion, I love to look at. So with Rosemary McLean, we meet up, big her up, and we put together this fashion. And it is awesome. Everybody loving it. They're supporting it. There's a bag of things. I could say COVID has been good and bad, but in my it has been great for me. Because I'm a diamond in the rough, so I survive in the rough times. That is what people don't understand. So the more roughness is going on me, I'm a Capricorn. We don't give up. So whatever is going on, I'm a diamond in the rough. So my thing will always pull through in the rough times. No matter when we go through, we can crawl out of that safely and strongly and don't give up DAM.
Macka, I tell you something. It's all we need to have you on a longer program. We want to thank you so much for talking to us.
Yes, man. Thank you, guys.
Anytime we talk to you, you feel inspired. And what you have been telling us is that whatever negativity or whatever challenges are there, you will turn it around and turn it into something positive and productive.
Exactly, because I am the money boss. I am not fighting for no crown. I am fighting for the financial part.
Like how you talk.
So when they get
money,
me like them, and we can call and say, hey, butler, pass that for me. Hello.
What a piece of stress.
Make food for me now.
Yeah, well, up your fruits and vegetables.
All in all, Macka, that is a good mindset to have, like channeling, turning negatives into a positive.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Turning lemons into lemonade, right?
Love it.
Them follow me on Instagram, Macka Diamond. One bag of things are going. Them attack of them out. Right now, I'm going to martial arts class because I'm practicing my karate. So I mean, a lot of these people who are running off their mouth, when they book me in face to face, make sure they can't fight.
Not to talk to you no way, yeah, me dear. Not talk to you no way.
Who is this?
Money,
who are we talking to? Macka gets
me big up, and everybody go on my Viva now, set up the song #1 because they're running with it already. Enough love.
Thank you so much, Macka.
Thank you so much, Macka
Great
Diamond.
to hear you. Yeah, man, big up, Macka.
All right, so make sure you look out for her clothing line.
Yeah, clothing line.
See Me Macadocious.
Yes, See Me Macadocious. But she's doing great stuff, music and streaming and getting her business together. Yes, sir.
And you see, that is also what COVID did to like a lot for a lot of persons as well, Bones.
Yeah.
It's just to put their backs against the wall. So you basically have to look at the resources, look at what you have, and see how you can use it to the best of your ability.
I tell you the truth. That they put their backs against the wall. Their backs are against the wall, and they have no choice but to figure out what to do and move ahead. So, and a lot of people have been doing that. This is something that has taught people, has shown how resilient you can be when you're faced with challenges. It is good in a way, because sometimes if these things don't happen, you don't know that you can do what you are doing now. So, people are quarreling about the challenges, but the challenges make you stronger and they make you grow. Definitely.
And if you really find yourself in a position where you're still up in arms or you're quarreling about the direction, you really need to do some introspection and change your mindset.
Mindset is the first thing, because if you don't start, you'll never finish. So a lot of times the problem a lot of people have is that they don't get started. I want to do this, I'm going to do this, I have to do this, and they just don't start. So the minute you start, unless you're somebody who's not very focused, then you won't finish either, but you need to start. Yeah, so me always say start, figure it out, but start something, whatever it is.
Do you think we can start and take 2 calls?
I think that's something we need to start right away.
So the numbers to call are 974
5051
974-5043
and 974-5079. So while we wait on our callers, we're going to take the Area FM Dancehall Chart Recap, which is the Dancehall Chart Recap with DJ Brian and, of course, Courtney Mack.
Courtney Mack and DJ Lollipop.
Yes.
This is the Guinness Dancehall Top 10 Countdown.
I wonder is who really run dancehall. Who really have the #1 song?
All the youths them want.
Who run dancehall?
Do you really want to know?
Yeah! it's about that time where we recap and let you know officially which song is the new number one song. Of course, coming in at number 10 for this week, Squash, Still a Room.
Number 9 was Vibes Cartel featuring Squash, Moonwalk.
And of course, Pain, Shaneil Muir was at number 8.
Number 7 was Popcorn featuring Massacre and Tommy Lee, Under Dirt.
Number 6 was Bin Laden, Skilly Bang.
Number 5 was Squash featuring Vibes Cartel and Chronic Law, Money We Love.
And of course, number 4 was Lighter by Taurus Riley and Shensia.
Number 3 was Dexter Daps, Call Me.
Number 2, you just heard it, was Stray by Ding Dong. So it's about that time for the number one song for this week on the Guinness IRFM Dancehall Top 10 Countdown. Are you ready? The number one song for this week on the Guinness IRFM Dancehall Top 10 Countdown is I Wish Massacre, number 1.
Yeah, I wish. Wish you forgive me for living like this. Wish you forgive me for living like this. Yeah, I wish. Reach for the stars if I miss me catch you close. Mommy said the money no matter you make me proud. You me have the badness load. Now you know my jump stick loud. Stay true to myself. Now watch this crowd. Now freak out myself. We gon' lock this globe. Me like me in my 20s. Crack this code. My boy like me no attack this road. Yeah, snatch them soft, chop them wicked, rock them gold, they think them tough, but watch them fuck, I'm shot them brave, them ball, cover by my side, them road, never know.
Hey, I tell you, that was the IRFM Dancehall Chart recap with DJ Brian and Courtney Mack. I think we don't seem to have any time for callers.
No, we're out of time. We have a minute, so Muta is standing by with the cutting edge. But next week, all things being well, we'll give our listeners an opportunity to interact.
I think we have one caller. We've got to see if we can sneak in the one caller.
All right.
Bust through caller, you are live.
Hey, good night, Kashima.
Good night.
Good night, Mr. Boone.
Bless up yourself, brother. What's your name and where you calling from?
Jaffa, I'm calling from Westmoreland.
All right.
All right, big up yourself, Jaffa.
Big up the best down in the West. How is the COVID? How is the COVID treating you, and how has 2021 started for you?
Well, COVID now keep me sanitize up.
Yes.
Wear my dust mask. Stay out of people when it's unnecessary.
Yes.
Just wear my corner.
All right.
Some things and go with people.
All right, sound good. Anybody want to big up before we go? Because we're out of time.
Yeah, man, big up the whole IRFM team, but especially Sunshine.
Yes.
And the crew, yeah, big up.
Yes, man,
All
big
right,
up.
give thanks for calling.
Big up yourself, Sunshine. I know you from last year. You're on your dusty Friday. I think she easy. Big up, Sunshine, baby love. Dora, the Explorer. All right, respect call up. All right, we're out of time. I want to say a very special thanks to everyone who made the EBUZZ possible. We want to say thanks to our guests who came on. We want to say thanks to Shaneil Muir. And we want to say thanks to Macka Diamond.
And Ernie.
And Ernie Smith.
Yeah, I also want to say thank you to our producer, Sandrika Masters, technical operator, DJ Lollipop, and studio engineer, Nicholas Francis.
Telephone operator, Jody and Dawkins. And, of course, social media specialist, Peter Broadbent. Peter Broadbent.
Keeping us connected.
Very much so. Join us next week for another exciting edition of the EBUZZ. I'm DJ Bones. And, of course, Muta Baruka is up next with The Cutting Edge.
Moving forward, today, tomorrow.